Like many great cities, Philadelphia's history is filled with stories of uncertain beginnings with happy endings. At the turn of the last century, the city fathers called for the construction of a subway system. Dozens of tunnels were built, but in many of them, no tracks were ever laid and no trains ever ran. These unused tunnels remain beneath the city streets, ghosts of another era. But despite this uncertain beginning, the project was eventually completed. And today, Philadelphia has one of the better rapid transit systems in the country. Times have changed, but Philadelphians still can foster doubt over uncertain beginnings. Followers of the Philadelphia Eagles might, on first glance, view Dick Vermeil's first 2 seasons as coach as an uncertain beginning. But the record does not accurately reveal the progress of this team. The squad was never embarrassed and never gave up, often playing its best against the toughest competition. This was significant for those who had endured previous seasons of frustration.
We've been talking for the past 7 years I've been here for rebuilding, and the next year we're going to be better. And it hasn't come yet, but this is 1 year that I feel that we, as a team, we're going to be better. You have guys now that really want to win, because we see how far we're not that far away. We see how close we are to winning.
Opening Day 1977. Hope springs eternal at Veterans Stadium, fresh from preseason wins over teams like New England and Denver. Owner Leonard Toews and his Eagles are anxious to get started against opposing Tampa Bay. In the early going, a fake punt became a 30-yard running play. And after that, the Eagles were in command. The Eagles achieved a 13-3 victory over the Buccaneers, their first opening day triumph in 10 seasons. But the euphoria did not last. Philadelphia lost 5 of its next 6 games. Yet these defeats were not lopsided. The games were nail-biters, last-minute cliffhangers where the Eagles would play well enough to win, only to fall short. The Week 6 battle against Dallas was typical. Through 3 quarters, the Eagles led the eventual world champions, only to see their hopes crumble from the result of a single play. It was a bitter defeat. The Eagles could have folded up shop right there. They didn't. They just got tougher. Philadelphia was no longer anyone's patsy, and a major reason was its powerhouse defense. In 1976, the Eagles sacked opposing quarterbacks 19 times. Last year, the total swelled to 47. In 1976, the Eagles intercepted 9 passes. Last year, that number was 21. Philadelphia had the 7th best defense in pro football and allowed fewer points in a 14-game schedule than any other Eagle team in history. Part of the credit for this improvement must go to defensive coaches Marion Campbell and Fred Bruni, authors of Philadelphia's 30 defense. 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers. A defense that can disguise its intent until the very last moment, and then it's usually too late for an offense to adjust. By blitzing a linebacker, the pass rush remains as potent as the conventional 4-3 alignment. But what makes this system work is the nose tackle, who ties up one or more blockers, thus allowing his teammates a clear shot at the ball carrier, and the Lions share the glory.
Instead of the middle linebacker being right on the nose, we have what we call a nose guard in Charlie Johnson, and his number one responsibility is to keep that center off from the 2 inside linebackers. When it looks like the inside linebackers are making all the tackles and we're really the heroes, it's because of these other 2 men's work.
In Philadelphia, the nose tackle is number 65, Charlie Johnson, a 7th-round pick in last year's draft. In a conventional defense, Johnson's talents might be wasted. But the 30 defense is a defense Charlie Johnson was born to play. Manny Sistrunk, number 79, a career tackle, moved to the outside and had his best year. The most improved player on the roster was number 78, Carl Hairston, who finished 2nd in tackles, logged 10 sacks, and graded highest of all the linemen. The 30 defense is most successful with active linebackers. In Philadelphia, they are Mahalik, LeMaster, Bunting, and Ehlers, hustling hitters with 2 thoughts in mind. Find the man with the ball, then stop him cold. The linebacking unit sports the team's best ball player. Defensive captain Bill Bergey was an All-Pro once more in 1977, leading the club in both tackles and inspiration. He is a complex individual, intelligent, yet physically strong, a man of many moves. But above all, he is the consummate professional. Despite playing in a new system that called for a change in style, the 1977 version of Bill Bergey was no different from any other year. He is, quite simply, the best in the business. While Bergey provided cohesiveness on the defense, the offense looked for leadership from the men who have played their entire careers as Eagles. On the offensive line, there are 3. Center Guy Morris, an Eagle for 5 seasons. Jerry Sizemore, who has more than lived up to expectations. And guard Wade Key, the most experienced player with 8 Philadelphia campaigns behind him. Randy Logan is the leader of the secondary with 5 years' experience. He is also its best player, equally tough against the run or pass. Running back Tom Sullivan enters his 7th year with the Eagles, still regarded as a solid runner who can also catch the ball. these Eagle veterans have yet to enjoy the fruits of a winning season. But to a man, they feel they are closer to that goal now than ever before.
Now, first selection on the first round, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
The best players go quickly in the early rounds of the college draft, yet without benefit of high picks. The Eagles have enjoyed remarkable success with late rounders and free agents. Some of these athletes start on the special teams, covering the kicks of Nick Mickemeyer and punts of Spike Jones. Cleveland Franklin, Martin Mitchell, and Eric Johnson joined Captain Vince Papale, Dennis Franks, Terry Tartolo, and Rich Osborne. Together, they made the Eagles special teams the top-ranked unit in the league. The bomb squatters were even better when the Eagles were on the receiving end, blocking for Larry Marshall, the NFC's best punt returner of 1977. Some rookies saw regular duty, such as number 34, Jim Betterson, the team's third leading rusher. On passing downs, number 67, free agent Len Burnham was a defensive terror, notching 10 quarterback sacks. Running back Wilbert Montgomery, number 31, scored more touchdowns in his college career than anyone else in history, then perpetuated the habit with the Eagles. He led the NFC in kickoff returns, which included the longest run back of the season, a 99-yard touchdown jaunt that beat the New York Giants. 1 week later, in his first pro start, he rushed for 103 yards to defeat New York's other team, the Jets. But the steal of the year was Herman Edwards, number 46, a free agent who stepped in at right corner and tied for second in the conference with 6 interceptions. The coaches assessed his 1977 performance as being equal to that of a first-round pick. Teaming with Edwards was third-year pro Deke Sanders, number 26, a pickup from New England who also stole 6 passes. Another man who began his career in New England but has enjoyed success in Philadelphia is number 20, John Outlaw, whose experience was an asset to the Eagles secondary. Outlaw and Sanders are like many other Eagles who began elsewhere but have found a home in Philadelphia. Certainly the most widely traveled is defensive tackle Pete Lasitich, the Eagles' resident entertainer.
But right now I'm proud to be a Philadelphia Eagle. I guess also I've been proud to be a San Diego Charger, proud to have been a Miami Dolphin. For one day, proud to have been a St. Louis Cardinal. And for another day, proud to have been an Oakland Raider. And for about half a season, I was proud to be a Calgary Stampeder, but I think probably proudest of all right now, proud to be a Philadelphia Eagle. What do you think? And so I'm not, I guess I've got nothing to really gain by all of this. I'm not trying to prove anything. I think I've earned my Letterman sweater, and, you know, we've traveled a little bit, but I think I can play a little bit more, and that's why I'm here. And not only, I think I can play several different positions all at once. How's that?
Once more in 1977, Dick Vermeil relied heavily upon his assistants in implementing strategy. Coaches Clausen, Quarry, Davis, Iman, Putnam, Rowland, and newcomers Bill McPherson and John Ralston will continue to be assets in 1978. One player who benefited from their guidance was tight end Keith Krefli, number 84. In his first year as a starter, Krefli averaged an eye-popping 19.6 yards per catch, best of any tight end in the league. Charles Smith, number 85, finished second in team receiving, while hauling in 4 scoring passes. The team's leading scorer and receiver was offensive team captain Harold Carmichael, number 17. In 1977, he extended his league-leading string of consecutive games with at least 1 reception to 80, while making some of the best catches of his pro career. Injuries limited the full capabilities of number 35, Mike Hogan. Yet despite various ailments, the sophomore runner still led the team in rushing for the 2nd straight season. Another second-year pro, Herb Lusk, number 32, saw spot duty in the backfield, combining his running and receiving ability to account for 3 touchdowns. This included a 70-yard scoring burst by the man who has been dubbed the praying tailback. Lusk and Hogan credited the offensive line and its 2 tackles in particular for much of their success. Veteran Ed George contributed on one side, while fellow lineman Stan Walters worked the other. Cowboys All-Pro defensive end Harvey Martin called Walters the toughest man he faced all season. Here, Walters ties Martin up long enough for quarterback Ron Jaworski to find Mike Hogan for a touchdown. Ron Jaworski's first season as an Eagle had both its high points and rough spots. Despite 3 years pro experience, Jaworski is still learning, but he proved to be a star pupil. After throwing 15 interceptions in the first half of the season, he had only 6 more the rest of the way. Jaworski gave the Eagles their most mobile quarterback in over a decade, scoring 5 touchdowns while gaining important yardage in key situations. NFL quarterbacks aren't supposed to be successful runners without suffering the consequences. Jaworski was injured several times and played with a broken thumb on his throwing hand for most of the year. But despite these setbacks, he never missed a starting assignment and finished with 18 touchdown passes, best in the NFC. Ron Jaworski was a source of strength throughout 1977. No time was this more evident than during practice sessions leading up to the game against New Orleans. Jaworski and many others were hobbled with injuries. The team had lost 3 straight. In this sea of adversity, the true character of the 1977 Philadelphia Eagles would emerge.
This is a big game for us because we've had some tough games in the past. We've lost some games that we had a chance to win, and of course, playing New Orleans at home with the fans behind us is going to be a big plus. And we feel this is kind of a must game for us. A game we have to win to salvage our season. We feel we can do it. We feel we're a better team, and we're going to go out and do our best. We've got some bumps and bruises, and some guys not completely healthy, but that's football, and you have to kind of go out there and do the best you can with what you have under any conditions, and hopefully we'll get it done against the Saints.
Philadelphia set the early tempo by stopping New Orleans dead in its tracks. Now it would be the Eagles' turn.
Blue 29! Blue 29! Stand! Hut, hut! He's there! He's open! Over
Final score, Philadelphia 28, New Orleans 7. All the indicators had predicted the Eagles would collapse, but there is no yardstick yet available that could accurately measure a team's desire.
Players played extremely hard with great intensity and great enthusiasm, and with confidence they could win. And that's what's amazing. You can go from week to week. A lot of football teams going through the 4 out of the last 5 games like we have would have quit by now. I just think everything we're doing is going in the right direction, and one day you're going to be very proud of this whole Eagle organization.
The Eagles won their last 2 games of 1977, but the most encouraging signs appeared before that in a loss to the Cowboys. Philadelphia kept the pressure on well into the 4th quarter before finally bowing to Dallas. This performance was admired by many, including Cowboy quarterback Roger Staubach.
I think the Eagles have started to head in the right direction. They're well coached, getting young people, young aggressive people, guys that want to play football, a bunch of hustlers over there that come after you the whole game, and just gives them a lot of stability, both offensively and defensively, and I think they'll be in the thick of it this year.
1978 will not be easy. Philadelphia faces the 2nd toughest schedule in pro football. Philly fans don't expect miracles. They do expect the same brand of character that typified the 1977 Eagles. It is unlikely these men will ever show anything less. The date, October 30th, 1977. The place, Independence Hall, Philadelphia, where thousands turned out for the Eagles' Fly for Leukemia Jogathon. Support from Eagle fans all over the Delaware Valley has enabled Fly for Leukemia to surpass its goal of $800,000, money that will complete the leukemia wing at Children's Hospital. But the struggle against this dreaded killer goes on. Team owner Leonard Toews and the entire Eagle staff has pledged to do whatever it takes to win over leukemia. With continued support from the fans, this goal can and will be achieved.